Good day, everyone, and welcome to Obidient Family TV. The program is Hope Alive. Yes, there is hope, and the new Nigeria is certainly possible. And a good morning, afternoon, and evening, depending your time zone. Today, we have come again to have discussion on what is happening in Nigeria, especially as National Assembly, both the senators, House of Rep members are moving for an urgent purchase of a new airplane, a new jet for Bola, Tinubu, and Shettima. That is the report that is coming out at this very time. And we have decided to bring it to all Nigerians to know that while we are talking about the minimum wage, what the House of Assembly members are pushing for is to get a new aircraft. According to a report presented by PAP, it explained that there is a dire need to purchase a private jet for the deal in order to prevent any unforeseen mishap or technical issues that may occur. That is what is coming, and that is part of the discussion. Maybe this is also coming as the World Bank report coming in is that World Bank has approved Nigerians 2.25 billion naira loan requests. That is one of the things that we'll be having a discussion. And of course, we'll bring you what His Excellency P2B said in Benin yesterday when he went to visit the foundation that Jonathan, the former president of Nigeria, they have. And he said that 24 million people without homes in Nigeria, yet we are spending over 20 billion naira to build a house for the VP, of course, that is for Shettima, that is coming at this. And with me to have these discussions, I have Divine Dons here in the studio and Otto, while we have our Obedience and well-meaning Nigerians on Zoom to discuss all these issues, especially this very issue of a new aircraft for Tinubu, while we are talking about a minimum wage that is yet to surface.
A very warm welcome, and thank you for joining us on this live broadcast. Let us have these conversations concerning our country.
Obidient, you're welcome to the show.
All right, so wherever you are watching us right now, please endeavor to like and share and let other Obedients know. Let well-meaning Nigerians know that there is such a thing happening right now. And if no action or push is taken, it means we will be again expecting another new aircraft for the deal of Tinubu and Shettima. While we are still crumbling with 60,000 naira, 62,000 naira of minimum wage. That is a discussion. Before I get to the people on Zoom, let me quickly start with Divine Dons here in the studio. So Divine Dons, of course, you are no longer somebody who is just seeing this from afar. You read the report yourself. And of course, we have this analysis before now. And why would the reps think of an urgent, the way the report is written, urgent need for a purchase of a new aircraft for Tinubu, when we have not even sorted out the issue of the minimum wage? Why are they moving to purchase a new aircraft when Nigerians are in total darkness, when Nigerians are suffering, when hunger is ravaging the land?
Well, you know, you've really said it all. This is actually a bad time for us to be having conversations about getting them a new presidential jet on all of that. But the truth is, Nigerians actually foresaw this coming, you know, months ago when Shettima actually came back from his trip where he was meant to go and represent Chief Tinubu at a Dallas Trade Summit, where he came back and they said it was due to faulty airplane and all of that. So Nigerians already saw this. We already saw this coming, that it was only a matter of time till they came out to say they needed so billion to actually purchase a new jet. But we all know that, you know, the president has a presidential fleet, obviously, and so this is not just, it's not just one aircraft that is actually assigned to him per se. And so the truth of the matter is, we know this is just another avenue to siphon funds, and it's not particularly coming from any urgent need. They're just writing that it's urgent, but we know that it's not particularly what the case is. They are just looking for a way to make money, or rather just siphon taxpayers' money. And it's just sad because we have more pressing issues in the country right now.
Yes, more pressing issues indeed in Nigeria. The pressing issues of hunger, the pressing issues of starvation, economic hardship everywhere in Nigeria, and we are talking about new aircraft auto. Do you think, or what's your opinion on this, based on this money that is being approved by the, said to be approved by the World Bank? Is it 2.25 billion? Yes. That is, they said has been approved for Nigeria. You think because they saw this money and they are all diving in, notwithstanding what is happening in their constituencies, because these are people who are representing the ordinary Nigerians?
Obviously, it's because they saw the money. I mean, to have these conversations now that this money has been approved, we obviously know where this money is going to. I mean, the reports are coming in after each one came in, and then we are seeing $2.25 billion, and then we are seeing an urgent request in quote for a private jet, while we've been on a conversation as touching minimum wage for over going to a month now. So it shows how terrible this government is, and how they see Nigerians, and how they think less of the workers and the welfare of every Nigerian. Is so terrible.
All right, very, very terrible indeed. Let's get to the people on Zoom, because right now we need to get everybody on this conversation. So all our well-meaning Nigerians and Obedience on Zoom. Let's quickly get Lord K. Let's start with you, Lord K. You've heard the story, you've read the reports coming out about this urgent purchase of new aircraft. But let me get to you straight. Do you think there's anything urgent about Nigerian buying a new aircraft for Chief Bola Tinubu and Shettima?
Good evening, everyone in the studio, and good evening, fellow Nigerians. This is not a shock to me. It's not a shock to me because I see members of this Senate House, the reps, and the Nigeria system as a whole, as not having the ability or the capacity to actually be in that position they occupy. Right from the top man to the last one in the Senate there, they are all about the same character. They say, show me your friends and I'll tell you. From the top man there, he has shown his character right from the beginning, that he is somebody that doesn't care. He is somebody that doesn't have regards for a fellow Nigerian. I mean, right the first day he got into position where he said subsidy gone without a plan, without any meaning. Now, they have come again now with something different. This is not the first time they've gone out to take loans from the World Bank, from China, from, other countries. What are they doing with all this money? Embezzling this money, using it for untold, unseen, unknown projects. Now, there is a probability that the World Bank is going to be issuing them another check for $2.25 billion. Now, they have an urgent need to go and buy a private jet that will be of use maybe once every 2 months, parked maybe in some foreign countries' airports, where they will be paying bills for it, paying serious parking fees, servicing fees for these jets. They park it there, but then we've got fellow Nigerians working for the system, working to see that taxes are paid, to see that the system is running. Their wages have been in negotiations now for over 3-4 weeks. They've come out with a figure of 60,000. Now they upped it to about 62,000, and saying, "Oh well, maybe they cannot even afford that." But then they can afford to go buy, a private jet that makes no sense to Nigerians.
Okay.
That makes no sense to the economic value of the nation.
Okay.
Well, this is where I blame Nigerians. This is where I blame Nigerians. This is where I blame them. Because they are all folded hand there without any action. This will not be practiced in fellow African countries. This nonsense will not be done in Senegal. It will not be done in Senegal. It will not be done in Niger. But when it comes to Nigeria, they all sit down, praying, waiting for God. Well, remember, they say heaven help those that help themselves. Thank you.
All right, well, okay. As there is other developing that is even attached to this, while we're talking about buying a private jet for Tinubu and Shettima, a new brand one for that very matter, just yesterday, His Excellency P2B was very clear on what he said about over 24 million people are without homes in Nigeria. And I mean, this is coming at a time when these lawmakers, who are supposedly to be looking after their constituents, the people who are like the voice of the people from their villages and their towns, as the case might be, going to approve, knowing so much hardship that is going on in Nigeria, and yet wants to go ahead to approve this thing. Let's, before I get to Elder Obode to get his reaction, let's listen to P2B, what he said about this very economic hardship and the starvation that is happening in Nigeria, and the fact that over 24 million people are without homes. Let's take a listen. We'll come back.
Here present, Your Excellencies, the former Vice President of Nigeria and Zambia President, Your Excellency, and my own very dear senior brother, Godwin Obaseki, and Mr. Obaseki, Your Excellencies, the Deputy Governors, Your Royal Highness, let me very respectfully stand on all due and existing protocol. Your Excellency, I thank you for the honor of inviting me. Mine is very simple. In the history of this Fourth Republic, no Nigerian have made the sacrifice.
Nigeria today is a country with the highest amount of people without homes. Over 24 million. Yet, you're spending 20-something billion to build a house for one person. Mr. Jazz, are you saying that a vice president of Nigeria cannot live in a 4-bedroom house? You live in the UK. 10 Downing Street is 3 rooms. That is an economy that is almost 10 times our economy today. And the Prime Minister lives in 3 rooms. So that's where you start. You start by living like somebody who is coming through difficulty, who is facing difficulty, who wants to change things. That's how we do it. You don't engage in what we've been doing, buying vehicles, partying and everything, as if things are normal. When you say there's difficulty, you need to deal with the issue of cutting the cost of governance. That's where you start. So you need to deal with the issue of massive corruption. That is showing that I am now, okay, things are bad. Just have served the system where I came in and found that things are bad. And we start by cutting the cost of governance.
So are those...
So, Lord K, you know, this is part of what you are talking about, and that's why I had to bring up this very video. Apologies for the other video that was brought forehand. And now you can hear what His Excellency P2B is talking about, cutting costs. You can see that instead of cutting costs, these people are just heaping much more costs. Even the money that they are getting from this very World Bank, the 2.25 billion, I'm very much sure they're not going to put it into agriculture. They're not going to put it into production. So it's going to be wasted all over again. So given the fact of from what His Excellency P2B said, you think that this present Tinubu and Shettima government doesn't not listen to whatever concerns about cutting costs in governance?
They are not bothered about it. They are not bothered. They are not concerned. It's not their problem. It's not their concern. Why? Because they never had a plan. They never had a plan before they came to office. They don't have a plan while they're in office, and they will not have a plan when they are leaving. So all they are doing now is just spending, making sure that they and family, they are feeling okay. A government that does not have a production plan, a government that does not have anything to do with the economic development of a country, what do you expect them to do? Now, all these monies they are borrowing around the world, from the World Bank, from China, from Taiwan, from wherever they're getting it from. Who is going to be paying it? It's not even you. It's not your children. It's not even your great-grandchildren. They will all be involved in the prepayment of all these loans. But then, Nigerians are there, just sitting around, praying to God, praying that one thing or the other happens. There are situations where, I mean, you can push a goat, beat a goat, and once you get to a stage, the goat will fight back. But they push Nigerians well beyond that stage. They are scared of doing anything. They are scared of even saying, why is this happening? Why? Because fellow Nigerians will want to shoot them. Fellow Nigerians will want to arrest them. But if it's a country like Niger, a country like Senegal, that people stand for their rights, stand for what they believe on, trust me, the government will not be as stupid and as hopeless as this. This is a renewed hopelessness. Renewed hopelessness. Heaping hopelessness upon hopelessness for the Nigerians. A country where you have dedicated elites, dedicated, distinguished, brilliant men and women around the world. The governments around the world are fishing for Nigerians to hold key positions. But in their own homeland, illiterates, uneducated twats are there, turning things upside down. It's a pity. It's a pity. That's all I can say.
Okay, thank you for that. On that, let me give you the report, the part where I need to quote this committee so that we understand what the committee said as they moved to purchase this very aircraft. The committee is of the strong and informed opinion that considering the fragile structure of the Nigerian Federation and recognizing the dire consequences of any unforeseen or often-seen mishap that may arise as a result of the technical/operational inadequacy of the presidential air fleet, it is in the best interest of the country to procure 2 additional aircraft as recommended. 2 additional aircrafts. They said this will also prove to be most cost efficient in the long run, apart from the added advantage of providing a suitable, comfortable, and safe career befitting of the status and responsibilities of the office of the leader and assistant leader of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let me end the quote here. Elder Obode, you can see what our lawmakers have said, the reason they have given to get a befitting 2 aircrafts at this time of hunger. Elder Obode, please, let's get your opinion on this. Tell Nigerians how you feel about all of this happening in Nigeria.
It's a pity. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, people in the diaspora. Good evening, Nigerians. It's a pity that we have such idiots in the houses of representatives, and sorry about this. When I get angry, I cannot speak properly because I get quite taken. Spending such monies on aircraft for two individuals is absurd. Why? Why do you want to do that? Why do they have to have aircraft? They're in Nigeria. Why don't they travel like every other Nigerians? What is so important about them? It's rubbish. We have how many million Nigerians? They don't have homes. Some of them who were displaced by Boko Haram. Some of them who were displaced by people imported from Niger Republic by Buhari. Why do we Nigerians have to live like this? What is it that we don't understand about ourselves? What is it that we don't understand that we are Black people, and it doesn't matter whether we are Muslim, Christians, or whatever, that we are Black people and we should think properly. Why is it that we are so subservient? Why is it that we cannot think for ourselves, to say, oh, now my people doesn't matter. It is about us. It is about us, that this government and every other government they have to take care of us as Black people. Why is it that you want to think yourself as some Hausa man or an Igbo man and a Kwara man, or from, you are a Rivers man, you are a Jaw man, you are a Robo man? Why do you want to think that way? I want you to think as a Black person. Just as a Black person. That is what gets all of us together, that we are Black, as the Oyibo man describes us.
Yeah, not just to cut you, sorry about that. I want you also to take into cognizance the fact that all the rep members, the lawmakers who are actually moving to approve this approval for buying new two aircrafts, they are actually the ones that are representing the ordinary Nigerians in the General House and in the Senate. And they are the ones that their constituents are complaining about hunger, starvation, economic hardship, everything going on in the country. So they should be firsthand to know that there should be no need for a purchase of two new aircraft in Nigeria because their people are starving. They should be the ones to reject it vehemently.
Yes.
That's the area I want you to also look at.
Yes, but the Senate and the House of Representatives, they're not there for the people. They're not there for the people. They don't care about their constituents. And this is the problem, because we take people who are not even concerned about the well-being of the ordinary Nigerian, we vote for them, or they buy us. They buy us, and then we suffer the consequences. For the Nigerians, all I want to tell them, people in the House of Senate, people in the House of Representatives, as soon as they come into your constituent, hang them, so that we start afresh. Hang them, because they're not doing what we asked them to do. They keep us in hunger. They're doing everything to make sure that we are trampled upon. They're not doing anything for us. So why do we have to care about them? This softly thing, it is not going to help us. So we must make sure that these people who say that they're representing us, we make sure that we represent them one way or the other. We'll get them in. And if I'm not even sure that we want them to do and to say that they're complying. They're not complying. They're never going to comply. All they're busy doing is to get the money while we suffer in our different constituencies.
All right, thank you very much, Eda Obode. We said to bring this to the Nigerian populace and the obedience and well-meaning Nigerians of what is actually happening or what has been reported of a new plan to purchase new.
Why do you need new jets? Why do you need new jets? We don't need them. They don't need them. They're supposed to be leading the Nigerians and making things better for them, not to incur debts that our great-grandchildren have to pay in the future. What is wrong with us? What is wrong with us? Let's have balls, let's have balls and tell these people that enough is enough.
This is a government that actually promised during the campaign, during the manifesto, that they're going to supply students with finances to attend school, to attend university, student finance. Today, where's that plan? All gone with the air.
Of course.
But now they are planning something different from what they actually came up with. Only for them, maybe by 2026 or 2027, early 2027, they will come out and say, oh, well, we are going to increase minimum wage to 300,000 for Nigerians. And you see, these stupid Nigerians, they'll start hailing them again. They'll start shouting, hey, babao, babao, babao.
Now my people never works. Now my person never works.
Our Nigerians are the cause of their problem. Our Nigerians are the cause of their problem.
Exactly. They are.
Nobody else.
They have to man up. They have to man up and say enough is enough. We want a new Nigeria. And if you don't give us this new Nigeria, we're going to take it. We're going to take it. Look at Yaya Bello. He stole some money, and EFC, they haven't done anything since then.
He's nowhere to be found. Nobody has looked for him, and he's living large.
No. Because the government doesn't work for us. No. It doesn't work for us. It works for them. So we should stop looking at these songs, and try to get our perspectives, in a different direction. We cannot live for this anymore. The NLC, the TUC, they should be thinking in a different direction. If they don't want Nigerians to live as comfortably as they can, like themselves, then we should make Nigeria ungovernable. Why do you need 2 new aircrafts? Why does the vice president need a house for 24 billion naira? Whereas, there are people living in Benue State, displaced people living in Benue State, displaced people living in other states, because Buhari imported Boko Haram into Nigeria. We should be building houses for these people. We should be making them feel, Nigerians, because they're Nigerians. All these people imported from Niger, they're not Nigerians. All these senators that say that they're representing us, they're not representing us. The House of Representatives, they're not representing us. The governors, they're not representing us except the Labour governor. So what are we doing?
No. Take, for example, now, a country that wants to buy 2 presidential jets for 2 people. Now, that same country is where people cannot afford to eat one full meal a day. One full meal a day. They are not planning on how they want to farm, how they want to start production of one thing or the other. No, all they are aspiring to is to buy private jets, buy SUVs.
Has any company in Nigeria ever built the wing of an aircraft? No.
No, no one.
Has any company in Nigeria built, a vehicle? No. Well, okay, we assemble some stuff, and that's it.
No, we have.
Malaysia can build a car. Indonesia can build a car.
What
is the matter with us? What
guys,
is the matter with us?
I think I have to take it up from here again. I can say that is coming out.
She is part of the monetary fund.
Yeah,
why did she keep quiet? Why the federal government has decided to borrow $2.25 billion from the International Monetary Fund? On top of the debt we have already.
And they're still approving and approving.
Approving. They want to buy Nigeria.
She's part of the fraud.
All right, thank you guys for your contributions. Sorry, our viewers, we just have people on Zoom who, of course, obviously is very annoyed with what is happening in Nigeria, especially this new move to purchase new aircraft for Tinubu and Shettima that we just read the report that came in. So please, wherever you are, of course, you can make your comment at the comment section. Do you feel at this time, given the economic hardship and the starvation in Nigeria, that the Nigerian new aircraft is required for the presidency? If you think so, please go to the comment section and tell us. But bear in mind as you do so that even the presidency has not announced the minimum wage for the average Nigerian worker take-home fee, which has not been announced, and many other things that are really hitting the polity now. And for you also out there, the Nigerians, it is entirely up to you also to resist this very approach to get a new vehicle. Is it that, a new airplane? Is it that a new plane is not okay? It's very okay. But is it at this time? No. We are saying the time we have now is time that we need to pull in every resources that Nigerians have and go into production and see how we can be able to survive this economic hardship. That is what we are talking about. And if we have we know that there are presidential fleets. If it's going for repair, we know there's one they said is in Germany that cost a whole lot of money just for parking and all of that. They want to get it working, they'll get it working. Going for a new one will really put a burden, a very harsh one to Nigeria. That money should be put into something else wherein all Nigerians can actually breathe. That is what we're talking about. Our time has really gone, and it's giving us signal for us to leave the studio. But before we leave, we'll not fail to inform you once again that we are funding the Obidient cooperative societies across Nigeria registrations with their state governments. And wherever you are, we are soliciting for your support so that we can send money to the Obidient family cooperatives across Nigeria to register with their state governments. This is not the money for them to start their businesses we are talking about, no. This is not an empowerment, no. The funds we are asking you to support with is to give them to properly properly register with their state government. What you're seeing on your screen right now, of course, is Mary Okon, who is the president of Obidient Family Cooperative Society, Yala, local government of Cross River State, and she's registered with the state government, and that's why she's able to go across the whole local government, all the whole wards, bringing a whole thousands of people into a cooperative manner for them to be in a proper place to do business together for mutual benefit, to see how they could all survive this economic hardship. And that is what we're advocating for every Obidient in every local government to be registered as an entity known by the state government to be able to do their businesses together in unity. And we'll continue with that, engaging each other and moving forward while we redefine our options for 2027. With that, we also show the account information, of course, and that is where we are expecting whatever you have, no amount is too small. We expect that whether it's the House of Rep members, they need to at least register this for their own local governments. We have not had one rep member who is of Labour Party or who has been voted by the Obedience who is supporting this. But we have individual people, Obedience and well-meaning Nigerians who are doing this. But we also trying to reach out to both Governor Oti to make sure that the cooperatives in Abia State are properly registered with the state government. We have the reps there, the structures are there, but we need their support so that they can legitimately be together as a cooperative society in Abia State. We are also reaching out to Ireti Kingibe in FCT. We know we have registered Buare. Amak is pending. We have several LGAs in that FCT, that is area councils in FCT, that requires registration with the FCT administration. And we need Ireti Kingibe, who is a senator elected by the Obedience, to support them by paying for those registrations. We are also reaching out to various senators and House of Rep members that they all belong to a certain local government which may or may not have been registered with their state government. We are appealing that they support this initiative, this project, to make sure that every local government will have Obidient Family Cooperative Society registered with the state government as an entity, so that they can continue to reconnect to do business of mutual benefit. Now, the account on the screen is the account we use. Every Sunday by 7 p.m., we do have a meeting, and that meeting is to discuss how many local governments we have been able to cover and how many local governments that are pending to support with financial assistance to make this the registration. So no amount is too small wherever you are. Or if you have the ears of these senators and House of Rep members that the Obedience really voted in for, please reach out to them. Tell them of what is happening. We already have the structures for over 300 local governments, over 300, waiting to be funded to make this registration. Meanwhile, we have about over 70 that is already registered with their state government, and they are all doing business of mutual benefit to themselves. It is not about us. It's about the collective obedience. Thank you so much for being with us today. Until tomorrow when we come your way again. Bye for now.
Here present, Your Excellencies, the former Vice President of Nigeria and Zambia President, Your Excellency, and my own very dear senior brother, Godwin Obaseki, and Mr. Obaseki, Your Excellencies, the Deputy Governors, Your Royal Highness, let me very respectfully stand on all due and existing protocol. Your Excellency, I thank you for the honor of inviting me. Mine is very simple. In the history of this Fourth Republic, no Nigerian have made the sacrifice you've made for this country. And I wish others can do it. I said it yesterday. You set out to correct one single thing that this country requires: free and fair election. That's all we ask for. Election where we are not going to have glitches, where the result will be announced as pronounced and people respect it. And you did that. May God Almighty continue to keep you for this country, for that singular action. Your Excellency, as President, you sacrificed a lot. Nobody have contributed, again in this Fourth Republic, that I know to what you did in education. Because you know, like the Minister has said, education remains the most important, fundamental for development. It is shown that the more educated a country is, the more developed. And we know that is what is keeping Nigeria today from developing. You cannot develop when Nigeria today, ranking in human capital, is 163 out of 174. We're going nowhere. You cannot develop when HDI, which is driven by education, again, we're very low. I look at Kenya, when President was talking, they're medium. They started with low with us. Ghana, everybody, they've all gone to medium. We remain low. So we need of education. The crisis we are facing in Nigeria today, especially in the north, are people we abandoned uneducated yesterday and think we can leave them in poverty. We have to invest in education and pull poor people out of poverty. If all of us have to sleep with our eyes closed, unless we put the poor out of poverty by educating them and equipping them, everybody will be awake soon. That's what we need to do for our country. You did that. That is why you started university in all the states of Nigeria. Thank you for that. And I hope that what Minister said here, which is measurable, can be measured and can be achieved. The time of talking is over. Now it's time for action. Thank you and God bless you.
Benin City goes agog as the good people of Edo State troop out to welcome an icon of democracy in Nigeria, our very own, His Excellency Peter Gregory Obi, former presidential candidate of the Labour Party to Edo State on Saturday, June 15, 2024. Peter Obi will be in Benin City to throw his full support for the candidate of Labour Party, Olumide Osaigbovo Akpata, for the Edo State governorship election. He will pay a courtesy visit to Oba of Benin. He will equally address the party faithful and members of the Obidient family by 11 a.m. at the Labour Secretariat at number 2, Sokbomba Road by Ring Road, Benin City. Peter Obi will join the Labour Party campaign for a roadshow to various places in Benin City. All lovers of democracy and good governance in Edo State should come out to welcome this great son of Nigeria, His Excellency Peter Gregory Obi, to Edo State. You are welcome, sir. Labour Party, forward ever.